KBBBL Podcast. Where the extra B is for BYOBB.
Where's my elephant?
Just a little further.
Are we there yet?
Just a little further.
Are we there yet?
Just a little
Are we
further.
there yet?
Just a little further.
You've made it to KBBBL Podcast, where the extra B is for BYOBB. And what's that extra B for?
I hope it's not too obvious, but this week's extra B is for Bigfoot.
I was going to be disappointed if it wasn't Bigfoot. Glad you came through there.
I thought that was kind of like phoned in, but okay, I'm glad you like it.
No, we phoned it in here. I am your host, Jungle Man, and with me, as always, is a couple lavatory lynxes who don't like the smell of fear. The experienced woodsman.
Howdy.
And the brilliant beast.
Hey, everybody. Don't like the smell of fear, especially, the smells that can be produced by fear.
Especially so, yeah. Well, maybe that's one and the same. Who knows? And we are here to review Season 1, Episode 7. We're getting there, fellas.
Yeah.
The Call
Are we
of
there
the
yet?
Simpsons.
This is our George of the Jungle episode.
It is. Written by John Swartzwelder and directed by Wes Archer, who also directed the last episode, and we only started keeping track last episode, but maybe he does the whole season. I don't know. We'll find out. But John Swartzwelder has written one previously as well. So,
director's an interesting role for this kind of show, right? It's more you're overseeing the process of production. The animators, the script writers. The other thing, the episodes are always attributed to one person, but there's a writer's room, and I think it's fair to say that most episodes, at least a couple gags, slip past, and make it in that are from either a collective contribution or one of the other individual members of the writers team.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine one person probably comes up with the initial concept. Makes me think about being in a band, and me and Davan have been in several projects together over the years, and usually someone shows up sort of like the main riff or the main idea, the whole band contributes, but this is a Davan song or this is a Dave song, sort of based on who was sort of the main individual that came with the concept, right?
Yeah, that's a good analogy. We should start a band, boys.
Absolutely. What do you play?
Right. What do you do?
I'm planning on getting a keyboard soon. I play bass a little bit. I used to have a bass.
Well, Franny's already playing the bass, so you're not replacing Francis.
We could use a keyboard
we
player,
could have. Yeah.
We could use a keyboard player. There's not enough of them around these days. I can sing.
Boy,
I'm a singer.
I can sing.
Get out of here.
We can have a little sing-off, Davan.
He can help in the background, though.
All right, well, we'll have to come up with a Simpsons-related name for our Simpsons novelty band that we.
And it should become less funny every time you hear it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah, you guys found me on the bathroom floor.
Looking for your toothpick.
The dulcet tones of Barney,
fellas.
Under the turnip tree.
Under that very tree.
With a cool glass of turnip juice.
Or perhaps even a beer. Did you fellas BYOBB tonight?
I did.
Sort of. I am on a dry January after the New Year, so I have a non-alcoholic Heineken.
Very nice.
So I had
cool.
Yeah, I had a sabbatical several months last year as well, and this is easily one of the better tasting near beers out there. So that's what I got this evening.
I just have another Dirty Blonde because
Oh my God! You better get us the sponsorship from them.
Yeah, I figured I might as well ride this one to the ground. I don't even know if I'm going to drink it. My little indigestion, but it's a delicious beer. Here it is, folks. Look at it. It's all shiny in my camera.
It's a good standard, good standard beer.
I already finished mine just like a previous week, but it's the Vickers Cross Double IPA from Boxing Rock.
Fancy.
Very nice. Boxing rod. You
It
can't
was
go
very
wrong with
good. It's
either.
gone now, and now I'm drinking tea Earl Grey hot, which is a nice nod to my Star Trek roots.
See, I'm drinking coffee as well. We'll see if I finish the coffee. Maybe I'll top it off with some beer because I have reckless disregard for my own stomach.
All right, fellas. How was your New Year's?
My mom's French, so we celebrated Bastille Day. I don't know about you guys.
It sounds
Well,
so much
happy
more
new Bastille.
classy.
I'm kidding. No, New Year's was okay. It was pretty quiet. Sleepy New Year's. How about you guys?
Oh, mine was fine. Me and the woman just went to a pub for a little bit, met up with a couple of her friends. It's, nothing wild.
Is your
I
little
am
man
baby,
old
so
enough?
I went to bed at 10 o'clock.
I was just related to that, Davan. I was just asking Francis, is your little man old enough to try to stay up till 12 o'clock?
Well, I took him to I had him that night, so I took him to my parents to sleep over, and I was gonna tell them, hey, if he wants to stay up a little later, he can. I didn't think midnight would be appropriate, but he fell asleep in the car, and as soon as I brought him in, he's like, Daddy, I want to go to bed now. So he actually went to bed earlier than normal. He was so worn out from the day. So.
Hey, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it happens.
Aside from that,
All
I
right.
did get another tattoo.
Oh no, you did?
We don't have to. We don't have to go on. No, I won't show.
You know we do. What did you get?
Yeah, if you got it, we got to see it. Come on.
Yeah, we got to see it. I forgot to ask. I shouldn't.
This is 7 weeks in a row.
Yeah, well, I like tattoos, boys. What can I say? It's a Tibetan skull. So
weeks in a row.
The lore is basically the Tibetans. They would collect skulls, and they would use them for like ritual purposes. So they drink from them, kind of like chalices. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Got it by Tim Ricks. He's an Australian tattoo artist. He was stopping by the city for a little while. His partner's from here, so yeah, figured I'd get a tattoo from somebody down under.
Down under, up top.
Yeah, we played Knifey Spoony.
All right, on. Who won?
He's an Australian, so he did beat me. He
He's
comes
played that game
second hand
before.
with him. Yeah.
No shame losing to someone from the native land.
Yeah. But anyway,
You also got stung by some thematic bees.
Yes. See, well, this is related to our episode too, because Homer gets stung by bees. But yeah, at the
Also
museum
thematic.
the other day, I got stung like 6 times. I was removing the bee at our beehive at the museum. We have a little feeder box that we can put sugar water and pollen bricks to supplement their diet. And it was getting really, really messy. It was full of dried up sugar water and propolis, which is like a substance that bees use to it's almost like cement for them. So they're like, we're helping. And they were, adding it to the side of the feeder box. So we had to pull it out. And as I was pulling it out, we then had to replace it with a magnetic strip to cover the 3 empty holes where the bees enter the feeder box. And as I was doing that, a few of them just crawled out and got on my hands. And they weren't happy. They stung me. I got stung once on the top part of my hand, right by the eye of the missus here. Once on the knuckle. Yeah, it's painful. Not in the mouth, though. Not like Homer.
They're like, hey, don't take our sugar water.
Yeah, really, though.
What's this clown trying to pull?
Like, we must protect the queen. Which one's the queen? I am. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Now we will never know if bees can repair move tiny screws in space? What were they trying to do?
Yeah, except it was ants, but they were supposed to sort tiny screws in space. Yeah.
That's another episode that I dare say tempted is a 10.
Yeah, that's up there for sure.
But we should get into this episode, right?
Yeah, well, the introspection, fellas. Did you happen to notice what Bart wrote on the chalkboard?
I actually missed it. What did he write?
Yeah, no, I didn't either.
I will not draw
Davin was
naked
asking
ladies
us because he
in
doesn't
class.
know either.
No, it's, I will not draw naked ladies in class.
Ooh,
whoa,
getting pretty
that's
risque for
That was some
1989.
spicy there. All right.
But again, Bart for this era, he really is a bad boy. It's kind of funny how tame a lot of his antics are from a 2023 perspective. But yeah, for the time that this was coming out, I can see why certain, Puritans and, pearl clutchers were wringing their hands in the air, like, yo, the Simpsons are corrupting the youth.
And the couch
Oh,
gag was, it's funny, it only took them 7 episodes to make the couch gag that there was no couch gag.
It's great bait and switch. I actually laughed at this one more than any of the other couch gags. So.
Yeah. But it's
Just
funny,
because they
though,
linger on
that one would have happened like in season 3 or something. But no, 7
Yeah.
episodes in, they're like, this is kind of old already. Let's throw them a loop.
Well, but it's because season 1, the couch gag was not, it kind of evolved out of necessity partly. They really just didn't have a ton of ideas cooked up for the first season. So you can see that they recycled.
Yeah, it wasn't the couch gag as we know it today.
Yeah.
Well, I think now it's time for a breakdown.
Don't mind if I do. What?
Phenomena. Let's get into her.
Yeah. Right off the top, boys, before we actually talk about the episode, what do we think? Did we like it? We won't rank it yet, but did we like it? I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it. I mean, I like every episode of The Simpsons. So.
Yeah. Didn't like it as much as the last episode.
There's I kind of forgot about this episode, but once I started watching it, there's a lot that has stuck in my memory over the years. Like I knew pretty much every line that was coming up. It's definitely one I quoted a lot, like when I was a youngster. So I don't know, it was nice. I liked it.
Yeah. So where do we start off?
For me,
Davan?
it starts and ends really strong, and just gets a little lagging in the middle.
Yeah.
But starts and ends really strong. So we start off with just Ned Flanders pulls up in his the behemoth. Is it the ultimate? No, not the ultimate behemoth. Yes, it is the ultimate behemoth. No, the land behemoth.
They look at it later.
Pulls up in the land behemoth. So then Homer heads off. He's like, I want one too. Stupid Flanders thinks he can have a RV and thinks he's so cool. But he's like, I check his mail. He only makes like $2 a week more than me.
It's like $37 more than I do.
Like 14, yeah.
Which is hilarious because that just infers that when he gets Flanders mail, he opens it instead of delivering it to him.
For sure.
Yeah, of course he goes through Flanders mail. Apparently, we talked about this on an earlier episode. What is Flanders' job? I know obviously he opens a left-handed store later. I guess right now he's a pharmaceutical guy, according to the information I can get online. Yeah, but it's not something they obviously talk about on the show. So I guess
do we see that?
Is that mentioned ever, or is that just?
I don't know. Maybe in passing, but it might have been something that was mentioned in one of the expanded media. Just as an explanation for how he's able to afford a house and all these other things. Have you guys ever used one of those push mowers before, though, that Bart was using? Good God.
No, I never actually have.
I have, yeah. I had one. I got rid of it.
I can see why.
Well, I can't imagine they're very effective.
Oh, they work. They're just extra work.
Yeah, I guess it's good exercise if that's what you want.
If they're sharp, they work. Well, fellas, so then they go to Bargain Bob's. I believe he's called Bargain Bob. No, Bob's RV
Cowboy
Roundup.
Bob. Yeah, it's Cowboy Bob.
Yeah, in the RV Roundup.
What a character.
I love Cowboy Bob. Everything he says, it's just hilarious. The cadence of his voice, how he starts a sentence and interrupts himself to get onto the next thing. I just liked the whole interaction with him.
I'm about to play a bunch of clips, fellas, and I could have clipped every friggin' line he had, but I didn't.
I wish you had. So, please play clips by this man.
So great. Homer walks in. He's just like, do you have something better than the land behemoth? And he's like, oh, bud, I have the ultimate behemoth. And they think they're standing next to a building, but it's actually just the ultimate behemoth.
That was a great gag. Great little
look at this thing. He says, man built this. It's a vehicle.
Does it have its own satellite dish, sir?
You can tell your son it has its own
satellite. Dude, that's
10-Star 1 launched last year specifically for this, nothing else.
That's wild. That's so outrageous. The sad part is, boys, is I can
so 90s though, man. That's so 90s. Things were so crazy in the 90s that way, where it's just if you could think of it, they would build it and sell it, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
But
really quick,
it's a vehicle.
Albert Brooks is the voice of Cowboy Bob. He is a recurring
is he guest. Really?
That's the thing. because he voices Hank Scorpio, right? Who's one of the very
yes.
best characters The Simpsons has as like a one-off. He also does Jack, I guess, in the French. The episode where Bart
Jacques?
goes to
That's-
France.
Jacques.
Yeah.
That's like
I can
next
hear the
episode.
similarities.
They must
sort
have
of
just had
between
him
the two
around
of
for a
them,
week.
Yeah, so he's a great voice actor. He does an amazing
He's a
job.
great actor.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You ever
He's
see the
super
ref
talented.
with him and not the ref? The
He's in
stunt,
Drive.
Him and Brendan
I love
Fraser.
Drive with Gosling. Oh yeah. Yeah, he's really good. Does a
that's
great
a good
job
one.
here.
So you know,
You'd think he
Bob's
wouldn't
gonna-
waste
He's
all
working
of his
his
time.
magic. Bob's a consummate salesman.
Oh, man. I'm not sure that we can afford.
Does it have a deep fryer?
It has 4 of them. 1 for each part of the chicken.
Baker, you're a learned man. What are the 4 parts of a chicken?
I don't actually. Well, I guess it depends on how you would like. There's the breast, the leg, the neck,
In the wing, I guess.
the thigh, the wing. Yeah, I don't know. I fucked it up. Probably not
Francis,
the
you
neck.
like
Probably
chicken
the
wings. What are the 4 parts of a chicken?
wing, thigh,
What's the
breast.
4? Thigh, breast, wing, leg.
Yeah, those are the 4.
But are wing and leg the same thing? Because the wing's just the top part of
no.
the leg, isn't it?
No, the wing is like the actual
The
like the
wing's different.
flapper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
no, that
leg,
makes sense.
the leg is like
I think
the
you've got it.
drumstick. Yeah,
I think
boys, we
Francis
did
nailed
it.
it. I could give him a point for the game later. And just give him a really
Francis,
easy
hey, come on.
Yeah,
Who's
but I
the boy who rattled off the first 3 though? Come on. I'm
one.
the
You mean
Bob
gave
of this
away the
podcast.
first 3? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
really
gave
just
away the
piggybacked
first
off
3, that's
Baker,
all.
but whatever.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Ah,
Yeah, man.
that's okay.
An easy lift.
First of all,
I
I
still
want
think-
you to know I like your face.
You do?
I really do.
It's so
I'm
shocked.
not saying that. I mean it. You got color in there. You're not Roman, are you?
No.
You're
Look
not
like
Roman.
a god, sort of.
You look like a god. That was my favorite
not
line in the whole
Roman,
episode. You're
are
not
you?
Roman, are you?
Yeah, like the
You got
race
some
of
color in
people
there.
from 2,000 years ago, or like thousands of years ago.
And then when he takes him in, he's
Yeah.
like, right this way, Zeus.
Yeah.
Yeah, right
called
this way.
Zeus. What's funny is if you
I
check
really
the Simpsons Wikipedia online for this episode, every single character is listed, including Zeus. There's a page on the Simpsons Wikipedia just for Zeus and all the different appearances of Zeus, which
Yeah,
I
that's
thought was
interesting.
pretty funny. Yeah.
If you're saying to me, Bob, is this guy good for it? I say yes. I don't check this machine. But I don't own the place, even though my name's up there. Long story.
Hey, what's Bob's credit like now that we're asking questions here?
Ask
man.
me, I say no problem. No problem.
But why do
Man,
you
he's
think
good though, man. He just never stops. He just
Yeah.
never stops.
He's
buttering
slick.
you up.
Do you think he knows right from the start that the Simpsons can't afford that
No.
RV? He's
No,
going
he just
through
saw him
this
as a
all.
sucker. He just
Yeah,
saw
he's
him
I
going
as a
mean-
through this to sell to offload his shittiest RV on a sucker. Is I think what he's doing,
that one.
and he starts
Maybe,
by
but like
treating them
why?
like
I guess so. Yeah, to butter them up, and then once they're all set on the idea of getting something, then he switches it up
Maybe.
and is like,
Yeah,
Listen,
maybe.
I wouldn't
I
pay
hadn't
$350 in today's money for that RV.
yeah.
Let
I
alone
mean, like, I'll give you
1990.
$350 altogether.
Yeah, right. Like,
At least it drives though.
Yeah.
well,
That's
yeah.
the computer in case I went blind telling me sell the vehicle to this fella and you're out of business.
In case I went blind. Oh god. What a great role this is. I never knew this was Al Brooks. Scorpio
Yeah.
just sounds like Al Brooks, but this guy doesn't. He's put
This
on
is
quite the
yeah.
role.
Well, he's throwing his voice. It's a really good affect that he's doing here. But that's why
You
these
never
guys
know
are
when they're
getting paid
RV.
the big bucks.
And I don't mean that in a good way. I mean literally, buddy. This is it for you, you know? It's this or a wagon.
Never
This
gonna
or
own a
that.
better RV.
I like how blunt he gets too, though, when he realizes they're broke. Like, no sugar
Right at the
no
end.
whatever. He's just like,
But he's still reeling him in by like at the very
He
end. He's
still
like, "You see
doesn't
that
stop.
guy right
I got
over
it.
there."
I got it. I got it.
See that
Oh,
man
yeah.
right over there?
Yeah?
He's buying this. Did you know that?
No.
Called me 2 minutes before you came in and said, save the little
Little
one. I'm
one.
coming down. Here he
say
is.
a little.
Say the little one. I'm coming down.
This
If it-
character
if it-
single-handedly bumps this episode up like at
Yeah,
least.
for
Does
six
he ever
ranks.
come back?
Yeah, he does, but not in a major
Does he?
way. I think he returns.
Uh.
There's like a later post-season, like it's like season 20 or something. He's in an episode that's focused on RVs. Yeah, they bring him back, and then I think he's a background character a few times. But that's about
I feel like I've seen him just kicking around in the background before, but
they could have gave him another nice spot in an episode, but maybe he can't do this gag twice.
It's like Scorpio, right? It's the same thing. You could bring back Scorpio, but it almost diminishes the power, like the potency of that first time he appears.
Al Brooks with these popular one-off characters. All right. So they buy it, and he rolls up on Flanders.
Hey, Flanders! Look what I got!
Oh, she's a beaut. Hey, congratulations, Simpson. I'm sure you'll have loads of fun.
Jealous.
He already has an RV.
Yeah, and a nice one. And Flanders genuinely is happy for him. Like, oh, sweet, you got something you want.
Yeah.
But,
that's the beautiful part. Flanders, I don't think for even a moment, he's so blissfully nice that I don't think he for a moment realizes that Homer's trying to get one over on him. So when he sees Homer has an RV, he's just like, oh, have fun. Like,
yeah.
I've got an RV we can use. Flanders is.
Oh, well, that episode is probably another 10, actually.
That's up there for sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to those 10s eventually. I wonder what the first one is.
This is what it feels like.
There's all kinds of interesting questions. What it feels like. Yeah. So then they go on a trip. They go camping. Homer's getting lost, but he won't pull over and ask for directions.
Camping, air quotes.
Yeah, well. So...
Typical man, huh? Won't ask for directions.
He's plowing through the forest in the RV and everything, and he's about to drive off a cliff. And
Mom, I'm scared. We all are, dear.
So he's like, we're here, and then it's just teetering on the edge of a cliff. And
he almost murdered the whole family.
Yeah,
it's not the last time. Maybe,
but this one's the most blatant so far, right? Like this is blatant.
Definitely.
And it's this weird thing they have right now, where they just won't undermine the father of the family no matter what. They can talk amongst themselves about how they're scared and how it's dangerous, but we won't for a second go opposite of what his plan is, because we can't undermine his authority in a weird way.
Listen, Francis, he's an experienced woodsman, okay?
He's an experienced woodsman.
When we get to that part, I'm like, since when? Like, where's this? Why is this accepted as common knowledge
Since
for this man?
He bragged about it earlier.
To me, that's one of the funniest jokes in this entire episode, is because he never gives an example of why he's even one time he went to the woods.
The opposite. Yeah. He gives the opposite example. He shows that he's wildly unprepared to be left alone in the elements.
Him and Barney probably used to drink in the woods.
Yeah.
That's his experienced woodsman. So then he's building a makeshift shelter.
Again, air quotes, shelter. It's a log. Oh man.
And then Maggie follows behind Homer and Bart. But and Marge thinks Homer realizes this, but he doesn't. So basically, Maggie
bad parenting. Oh,
very bad.
You'd think
Maggie reminds me of my baby too, because they look the same. Like they really do draw her like a baby. The way she has these bug eyes, and she's just like that's.
What do you think, boys? I know Maggie's had a couple little gags and things. Like she was put in the playpen, but this to me is where Maggie really this is her introduction as a true character in the show. Obviously, she still can't talk ever, so there's only so much they can do with her. But I was laughing a lot at the Maggie.
Yeah, I liked her interaction with the bears here.
Yeah,
Sam wants some attention there, Davan. You get a few of his comments up.
This is Sam's favorite episode of season 1.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, you'll see how we'll find out how we rank it here. Sounds like Baker's a fan. We'll see how far we get with that.
I liked it a little less than last episode, but it's still good.
There's the shelter. Pretty nice shelter there.
But that's not the one Homer built. That's
that's one Marge and Lisa's built later. Yeah. And then they're Marge is just outside sweeping the woods. And
placing the squirrels. I thought that was hilarious. She was just picking them up and putting them down. You would sort a vase or, a bookshelf.
Yeah, just like quintessential mom.
So then,
I know I have
Simpsons
not
have
been to
entered the
land, Sam.
forest.
The Springfield
kind of
Witch Project.
enter the. But then Homer and Bart stumble off a cliff and into the wait.
And remember not to act afraid. Animals can smell fear, and they don't like it.
Oh, yeah. It's true. But
they
I don't
fall
like
off
the
into the
smell of
river.
fear either.
They come up with no clothes. And,
Yeah.
well, first, Homer thinks Bart's dead.
Of all the fates on heaven and earth, why did this one befall me?
You have a cow, Dad.
Is this the first time he said "don't have a cow"? Probably not, right?
I don't think so. So
Almond
until they turned it
Shorts,
in,
maybe?
sorry, until they turned it into a gag with Bart being like, "I'm alive," like I found this kind of like sad. Like any father-son stuff, it doesn't matter in what context now. Always like history right here. So he thinks his son's dead, and the first thing he yells at is, "Take me instead," or whatever. And I was like, "Oh, this is kind of sad."
This is a classic gag, though. Like whenever they think Bart's dead, they always find his lucky red hat. Like this happens.
I know. That's what I was thinking too. A box! You turned my boy into a
box!
Damn
yous! Damn yous all time.
Yeah.
Homer, when he gets dramatic, he really turns it on.
Oh yeah. But
and then Bart just pokes fun at Homer. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Touching moment.
Yeah.
That's all.
Again, bringing it back to the family aspect.
Yep.
Ooh, Jungle Man. Ah!
Homer's naked. And
Yeah,
Bart's naked.
in touch with the roots.
They're getting in touch with the roots, and so they're putting some moss on and some mud, covering it up.
Yeah. A lot of weird nudity in season 1 of The Simpsons, huh?
Well, they used to love to show Bart's ass. They used to do it a lot.
Yeah. Well, it's comedy. Yeah, it is funny for especially Bart, right? Like the moon. What is the one time that he makes his face or his butt look like Nixon's face? That's a funny one.
Oh yeah.
I am not a
broke.
Ah man. Yeah, it's funny stuff for sure. And it actually is realistic that if you were in that kind of intense waterfall, that your clothes would probably get ripped off of you. But it's just funny that the animators made that choice. I guess because it adds to the caveman thing that we've got coming up. Or
yeah,
Bigfoot.
definitely it plays into him becoming Bigfoot for sure.
Yeah.
Then Maggie gets approached by bears, and she just sticks a sookie in one of their mouths. And they're just like,
hilarious.
"Oh, this is pretty good." Yeah.
No words.
That establishes Maggie's character. Because she's a baby, she's fearless, and but it always works out for her because she's fearless.
Yeah.
Which is
and she always has kindness too. She's like, "Oh, hey, Big Bear, you want one of these, don't you?" The entire Maggie and Bear interactions episode, I loved. I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
They've established through the show in a lot of ways, even in some of the nods to the future or whatever, that Maggie's kind of the only good Simpson. She's got this beautiful singing voice when she gets older and all this stuff too.
My favorite Maggie from the future is the one where she's a kind of an alt goth girl, and she never talks. She's always Maggie, will you shut up there? But it still never shows.
That's the one where they say she's got the singing voice.
Yeah,
she's supposed to sing at the end, and then they interrupt her.
Classic. But this is a really funny moment. It is unfortunately one of the moments in the show where if you are visually impaired, hey, got to have the described audio to know really what's happening. But usually The Simpsons is pretty good for just listening and being able to laugh at it because the voice actors are so good.
Yep. So, Marge and Lisa are doing all right. They got their nice shelter that they built. And then the bears are stealing things from the other campers to bring to Maggie because now they just think she's awesome. They're bringing her nice heat lamps and lights and things to keep her comfortable. So Maggie's doing the best of all the Simpsons.
Yeah.
Oh,
that one obnoxious
I got him.
camper, though, right?
I got him.
He sucks.
Right. Let me show you how many bears there are around here. Hello, bears. Come on, have a donut. Oh, what the heck? Have me. Come and get it.
All right, you made your point.
Is that
What'd you
Dan?
say? He's like, we drove 800 miles to stare at some leaves or stare at some trees or something.
Yeah. He's like, it's not even, we haven't even seen a squirrel. He's like, yeah. Hey, bears. He's such a jerk, man. What a jerk.
I know, he's a real asshole. Just doesn't see. He's credited as camping man, and it's Hank Azaria. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
Such a good voice actor.
Oh,
you
man.
can hear Mo in there.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's his most classic character, probably. So then the next morning, Bart and Homer are looking for food, and that's when Homer runs into his thematic bees. And he gets stung
they hurt folks.
Because
yeah.
He just sticks his hand in, like, he's just eating the honey covered in bees. Like, he's just very obviously eating bees.
Yeah, you wouldn't even get that far. From my experience, just by like putting my hand near the entrance to their hive, a few of them crawled on my hand, and I was using the magnetic strip, so both of my hands, they started crawling on them. And yeah, the initial sting hurts, but it's more so the swelling. My hands are fine now, but the next couple hours afterward, very sore, very stiff. It was not fun.
Didn't you know, Baker, that bees are attracted to the smell of tattoo ink?
Possibly.
They don't tell you that in the tattoo chair, do they?
It is kind of ironic. I keep getting tattooed, and then at work I'm also just getting pricked by the barbs of different kinds of stingers. But hey, it is what it is. I don't hold it against the bees.
I've been stung by many a bee myself and doing what I do. So they usually leave me alone because they know I'm a friend, but every now and then you screw them over and they have to retaliate. But, it's always on you with bees. Bees are peaceful creatures, man.
Yeah. The only reason they stung me is because I had to, for operational purposes, get close by. Also, my own fault. Wasn't thinking I should have put on rubber gloves. That would have helped.
Yeah, there you have it. So this is where Homer falls into the mud.
Mm-hmm.
And comes up looking like Bigfoot more than he usually already does. Sam Squamches.
Are you going to talk about the lore behind Bigfoot, Davan, for your science special?
In one way, in a sense.
Okay, I'm excited.
In a sense.
Because I'm a big fan of Bigfoot lore.
Well, I'm going to get into the gliving of it, that's for sure.
Okay.
And that's when, news breaks that they found Bigfoot.
That's my husband. His name isn't Bigfoot. His name is Homer.
Just keep coming up with Bigfoot.
Call him Homer.
Headlines just keep getting
What does he
crazier.
eat? I don't understand. What's this all about? Well, I suppose pork chops are his favorite.
Life of Bigfoot. Feeds him pork chops. Yeah.
Okay, the funniest thing about this is that she says it's my husband, and at no point does someone go, "Oh, that means it's actually a human." Like it's just like so sensational.
Obviously, Bigfoot. Come on. They said it was Bigfoot.
How would you describe your marital relations? Brutish?
Brutish.
Is this going to be on TV?
Coast to coast.
Coast to coast, yeah. How would you describe your marital relations? Brutish? Oh man, he's freaking. It's not so unlike certain media.
Yeah.
And then Homer and Bart accidentally come across Maggie in the bear cave. Well, there's Maggie in her bear cave, all the stuff they brought her, and that's sweet. That was a really sweet. That's the one that got to me because like Francis said, how father-son things get to him. Anything with like a little girl and
Well, please, guys, do me a favor. Don't abandon your children in the woods. Come on now.
Oh, I won't do that. Not again.
Yes.
Not
Good.
again.
Not again.
They don't let you do that no more.
No, they don't let you do that no more. Yeah, but there's Bart and Homer finding the bears. And they don't like Bart and Homer so much. But then Maggie's just like, no, it's okay. They are my friends.
Yeah, they're also probably trying to protect her too. And then she's like, wait, no, they're with me, guys. It's all good.
And then
It's kind of funny that the pacifier pacifies the bear, huh?
Yeah.
That's what they're for. Pacifier. They pacify babies too, and they're way more fierce than bears sometimes. Had one of them days today, let me tell you.
You know, boys, I'm revealing my stupidity now as we go, but I just now realized why they're called pacifiers.
Yeah.
I also don't have kids.
Pacified
So.
children.
You know what? Andre would almost never take the pacifier. Like, you'd get him to suck on it every now and again for a couple minutes, but usually he'd just spit it right out. He didn't like them.
So more of a Bart than a Maggie.
But they offered a $5,000 reward for Bigfoot's capture, and then he comes out into like where people are around, and somebody shoots at him, and I think it was the
dart,
with the tranquilizer.
Dart, yeah.
I like how he's instantly just like, avenge me, son.
It was too long, but the Rangers quote,
son, avenge my death.
It was too long. But the Rangers quote, "There's something terrible lurking in these woods," was also pretty funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good too. It's not
so
terrible.
Grim.
So then they study him, and then they hold like a symposium.
Specialists from around the world gathered at the Springfield Primate Institute for a first-hand examination of the controversial creature. They are now ready to announce their findings.
I love how Springfield is a small town, but it has everything, even a private.
I know. I was thinking that too. Is it a small town? It has to be a city, really, like based on all of the different things.
Well, it's based on Springfield, Kentucky, so you can look up the population of Springfield, Kentucky.
But they do have everything. They have mountains, they have a gorge.
Yeah, that's been confirmed. And there's an episode where they're like, this Kentucky family. It's like in one of the episodes.
The most egregious is the one where Lisa says Springfield Desert is 3 times the size of Texas. That's the most egregious bending of the geography. Say that? Yeah, oh yeah. And that just, of course, makes no sense at all.
No, of course not. But there's the symposium there. Got some no Frank, but some notables. We see this doctor on the left.
Dr. Monroe, yeah.
Well, we see this guy on the left later too. He shows.
I think we see him as an extra. Yeah.
Yeah. He's sometimes used as a foil. He's used as a foil to Frank sometimes. I think.
Oh yeah.
I believe.
I say it's none other than Bigfoot in the flesh.
Oh no, I disagree. I think it is a man. The eyes are the glimmer of human intelligence.
Really, a glimmer in the eyes. What about the sloping ape-like forehead?
She sounds like she was just celebrating Bastille Day.
Maybe it's the blue sweater you're wearing, Davan, but you've got particularly eyes that glimmer with humanity today.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, buddy.
I actually think she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be German because the other guy at the end, he's like doctor, and he goes Fraulein, like he's naming off the colleagues, and he calls her Fraulein.
No, but because he's German, and that's what.
Germans say Fraulein is German for lady,
lady or girl or something like that.
Yeah,
must be lady. You wouldn't call her girl. Or maybe you would. It was the 90s.
All right, boys. We'll all learn German.
We can agree upon this specimen is either a below-average human being or a brilliant beast.
So what's your guys' verdict on that? Is Homer a below-average human or a brilliant beast? I'm going to say brilliant beast. And Marge calls him that, and that's all very sweet.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a human. I just think it's hilarious. Like, I know this is like, it's far-fetched to being goofy, but like even after examination, they can't prove he's a human. Like, that's how stupid he is.
Yeah. This is Simpsons' first foray into like just total goofy territory. Like, there's no way that they would ever get this far, study him, and be like, oh, maybe it's an ape. But part of the charm of the comedy of the episode. When he's asking for applesauce.
Yeah, eating all the pork. He doesn't even care that he's in there just because he has food.
Yeah.
Send in those soulful and doleful schmaltz by the bowlful.
They're already here.
Our sideshow spotlight. I think this one's obvious. Bob is up.
Yeah, Bob easily.
Yeah. Unanimous Bob, I think.
Yeah.
So good. what more needs to
one
be
more
said,
time.
really?
He even looks like he like talks, like it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
his eyes and everything in his big ears, for some reason it all just
What
works.
do they call
Like
those
character
ties
play.
with the thing on them? What are those called?
The
He's got a
bolos.
bolo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Abe.
Cowboy style. Yeah.
Yeah,
Classic.
just hilarious character. Does a great job swindling Homer into a really poor deal. Which is sad, honestly. Poor Homer. poor Marge, shackling herself to this dullard.
Yeah.
One thing we forgot that he said, he's just like, "Can I go talk to my family?" He's like, "Look, Homer, you have to go talk to those." He stops himself.
Humans.
I was like, what was he gonna say? What was he gonna say?
But even just the way he says humans with such disdain, like,
and then he's just like, "Well, if you have to do that,
man.
there's something wrong with us. There's something wrong with all of us."
He's getting so like abstract with it. Like even when he's introduced first, he's like, "Man built this. This is a vehicle." Like just getting into this like grandiose, like how did we achieve this? Like he's so out there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hilarious.
I love Bob so much.
And this is the first of many times.
Can you? Man built this. It's a vehicle.
Does it have its own satellite dish, sir?
You can tell your son it has its own satellite.
Yeah, great character. This is the first of many times The Simpsons introduces these like one-off characters who just like steal the show. Homer's assistant Bruce is another classic example. It is Bruce, right?
No, Carl.
Yeah. Carl. No, it's
Yeah,
Carl. I think you're right. Yeah, Carl's excellent. Dustin Hoffman.
My mother told me never to kiss a fool.
And he slaps him on the ass.
Slaps him on the ass, yeah.
Oh man, Carl's pretty great.
Yeah, so we can throw Bob in the same category as those guys, I think, for sure. I didn't remember him being this funny. It was good to rewatch it and remember
same
how
here.
great he is.
Oh yeah, for side characters of the season so far, him and Bleeding Gums stand out for me.
Yeah.
So far.
What if your family don't like bread? It's funny because it's true.
Well absorbed.
Do you have a well-absorbed meme for us here, Brandon?
Yeah,
There
just
we have it.
the whole, as soon as they catch him, it's just a sensationalization of Bigfoot was so funny to me. And I forgot about these headlines and how they just kept getting more and more intense. I was like laughing out loud at this part. It was really funny. I really liked it.
So like they were even commenting on how she cooks pork chops for him, but they still put the chef hat on. Like,
yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Somebody had a lot of fun photoshopping that at the National Informer, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah, the National Informer. I didn't notice that. Largest circulation of any paper. It says underneath.
Tasty
recipes inside.
Great detail. Great detail they put in, because you would have to freeze frame it to get all of that.
Yeah.
That was a good one. That whole thing is pretty hilarious. Brutish. All right.
I'm just wondering, what's the point? Would it make any difference at all if I never existed? How can we sleep at night when there's so much suffering in the world?
What's the point, Baker?
So this episode, I'll keep it short and sweet, but I think that this one, the relationship between humans and animals is what I'd like to talk about. I do work as a naturalist, and I thought it was nice. I don't think it's necessarily accurate completely, the way the bears treated Maggie, but I did think it was nice to see bears portrayed in a less stereotypical way. Those look like grizzlies. Grizzlies are fairly dangerous, but yeah, it was nice to see bears, commonly misunderstood animals, represented as less aggressive and more just curious. They're very naturally curious,
protective,
kind of creative animals. Yeah, they're very protective. Yeah, Maggie became one of their cubs, and classically, yeah, they're very tight family unit, just like the Simpsons. So that was nice. It was also funny to see the guy. Where are the bears? I haven't seen any bears. And of course, they're bears the whole time. But, and this is often true. Animals are very good at avoiding people. We freak them out. Stereotypical but true. They're often as frightened of us as we are of them. So yeah,
I
I
used to
like
walk
the
too
representation.
quietly in the woods and stuff and sneak up on too many things. So I just started walking louder.
Also, very quickly, I do think it's fun because there are some historical instances of wolf children being raised by bears. It's very uncommon. Sometimes they can't be verified, these stories, but they do float around of children that go missing, get lost, and then they're taken in by some animal or other. Romulus and Remus, the famous founders of Rome, they were raised by a wolf.
And Romulus.
Romulus slew Remus.
I meant the planet Romulus.
Oh, right. Sorry.
It was also founded by two brothers called Romulus and Remus, coincidentally.
I wonder where they got the idea. Yeah, coincidentally. Yeah,
that's a mad coincidence.
It is.
So cool stuff. And then Bigfoot, obviously, an animal. Maybe, Davan, you can tell us a little bit about that.
We might talk about that. But there was a case a couple of years ago, because I looked into this too, where a little boy got lost in the woods for 2 days, and he says he spent the time with bears that looked after him.
Yeah, I think we probably read about the same story. You can't verify it, but the fact that he said it and some of the details of it are kind of curious. Like, how would he have survived on his own? It was quite cold, I believe. So, like, the exposure to the elements, lack of food.
I mean, I wonder how much.
It'd be a weird thing for a kid to lie about, but
I wonder how much.
Well, they have active imaginations. They have imaginations for sure.
Well, yeah, and did the animals really look after them, or were they just like, "Hey, this bear
just
doesn't care that I'm hanging around, and I followed him. Oh, he has a lair. I'll hang out here."
Probably
he just didn't hurt me. Is all that happened, right?
Yeah, the bear wouldn't see a little baby as a threat, not likely. But
some interesting folklore.
All right, just take your seat. Just take your seat. I even wrote theme music. There, listen. For Glavin out.
Let's talk about Baker wants to hear about the Glavin of Bigfoot. Well, I can't help you there, Baker. Bigfoot isn't real. There's the Glavin of Bigfoot. But I am going to talk about. Well, look, I'm bringing the Glavin, not the bullshit.
Okay.
Because for Bigfoot to be real, we would have to have primates in North America, and that's what I'm going to talk about. So why are there no primates in North America? Well, would you be surprised if I told you that there were? And in fact, primates started in North America in Montana and Saskatchewan and Alberta.
Ooh, they have primates in
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
They did. They're called Purgatorius.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they were thought to be the first primates, and they lived 66 million years ago, up to about 37. Things like them up to about 37 million years ago. And what happened was, they lived in North America, in Saskatchewan and Montana, when it was lush jungle. And as you can imagine, if you've been to Saskatchewan, it is no longer lush jungle. So the primates moved out. And at some point, some of them crossed over when there was the Bering Land Bridge. And that's when they started to populate Asia and everywhere else, like Africa, wherever else there's primates now. Indonesia, everywhere down there. And that's where they certainly thrived. And then it took them like millions of years, like probably only 10 million years ago or something like that, or maybe a bit more, that they rafted across from Africa and made it to South America. So it's interesting that they started in North America, but they never made it to South America. To get to South America, they had to cross the entire world.
Wow.
And then
species kind of thing.
Yeah, they rafted across. Well, they rafted across by accident. That's how they think that primates got to South America, because South America wasn't even attached to North America at the time. It was its own continent, like own landmass. So, and then the primates populated South America. And then at some point, like about 4 million years ago, South America smashed back into North America. And that's when primates were finally able to get back into North America. Now, of course, they only went as far as like Mexico. But that's the tale of how primates started in North America, became extinct in North America, traveled the entire world, and eventually made it back to North America like 4 million years ago.
So there's no Bigfoot.
There's no Bigfoot because primates were gone from North America for about 37 million years ago till about 4 million years ago. So about 33 million years. So that's a long time for Bigfoot not to evolve.
So here's the explanation then, boys, or at least this is my pet theory, because I love monster folklore. Bigfoot, as we know it, or Sasquatch, or Yeti, or the abominable snowman, like a lot of different cultures have these kind of beliefs. They're just feral, semi-feral woods people. They're humans, essentially. They're people living off the grid on the edges of society. That's all.
Sam,
That's
you
why
made an
bones.
assertion here, but I'm going to tell you, Sam, you're wrong. Just because humans are primates doesn't mean primates started in Africa. I just told you how primates got to Africa, and then they became humans eventually.
Don't question the professor, okay?
Don't question Professor Frink here. All right. Now I'm all worked up. All right, fellas, you're gonna play a game. Maybe Baker will dethrone the champ. Well, the champ has been dethroned. Maybe the champ can get a title back.
Yes. We had to bring in a guest to beat Francis. Yeah.
Had to.
Whoa! Where did that come from? Whoa!
I ain't saying nothing.
I ain't saying nothing. But someone's been talking. Who's been talking with Davy Tightlips? And this is where we play our quote game.
Okay.
And the winner shall rule all that is quotes for a week.
Congratulations.
Till we get back to this game.
All right, it depends how obscure they are.
All right, ready?
So you're gonna say the quote. We name the individual. Is that it?
Yeah. Yep. You just call out the name.
Okay.
Stupid bus that can't even go to the stupid place it's supposed to stupid go.
Otto?
Lisa, maybe?
Lisa Simpson. 1 point for Francis.
I should have gone off to Crackton. Yeah. No, man. This is Area 51A.
All right.
This is the episode where she wants to go to the museum.
Yeah, that's the museum one. It's a scary bus, though. She ends up on.
I think, Francis, your memory works better for quotes than mine, because as soon as I remember the context...
No excuses,
quote,
Baker.
Remember all the details. I am the king of excuses. Excuse you.
All right. Excuse me. Excuse you. All right.
My entire life is an
your own
excuse.
Points. I forgot my trusty pen.
All right. So Francis is up by one.
All right.
And we'll do all five just for fun.
Oh, there's more than 5.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll do best of whatever.
There's no justice like angry mob justice. Skinner.
Ooh.
A point apiece.
Yeah. I don't even remember the context for the episode.
Okay,
no justice like
just warming up,
angry
Sam,
mob
right?
justice.
What was the context?
Sam
for that?
heckling?
I think it's when they're going after the burlesque house, isn't it? No
Yeah,
justice like
it
angry
might
mob
be.
justice.
Oh, right.
Sex cauldron.
Sex cauldron. Thought they shut that place down.
Possibly
That's one of the best
another
quotes
10
ever, for sure.
or a 9.
I didn't think it was physically possible.
That's
but this both sucks and blows. It is.
That's fair.
Talking about the something on the stage. I was gonna say Planet of the Apes, but no, he liked that. This was, I think, a school
Dr.
thing.
Zayas.
Yeah, that sells him on theater. This play has everything.
That started the great Troy McClure.
Planet of the Apes.
All right,
so
next.
2-1.
Just
Francis.
miles from your doorstep, hundreds of men are giving weapons and given weapons
Ken
and trained to
Brockman.
kill. The government calls it the
Yeah.
But a
The
more
Killbot
alarmist name would
Factory.
be the Killbot Factory.
Am I allowed to answer before you finish, or am I like fucking it up?
No. Yeah, you should be. Yeah, because the quote is scrolling.
Yeah, it's
that's fine
scrolling.
by me.
You can read ahead.
Eye
I'm
on
just reading it for people listening
Springfield.
at home. All right, so that's 3-1, Francis. Oh my, there's enough left for
Where
you
are
to
all
still
these
win this thing.
bikini babes in the Eye on Springfield montage? Is where I want to know. There's so many
Next
bikini
one.
babes in it. All right, next one.
It's a good thing you drifted by this brothel.
Wiggum?
Oh, yeah. All right, Francis takes it.
No, it's
Francis
not over.
takes it. All right,
still-
keep him coming.
You can still tie him. There's 3 left.
This paddling is just vicious, boys.
It's been a bad paddling.
Yeah, that's a paddling.
Ain't you never seen a naked chick
Oh, that's
riding a brand new-
Carl. Carl.
It is Carl.
They're both
Carl
there.
Carlson.
We were both on the
Yeah.
same track. That's the
Princess
Aphrodite,
Cashmere,
Birth of
wasn't it?
Aphrodite. Yeah.
Princess Cashmere.
4-2.
Yeah, right.
It's the episode where Homer's debating cheating with his coworker.
Oh, Mr. Simpson, you're forgetting the two noble truths of the Buddha.
I'm gonna say Apu, but I can't.
Paul McCartney doesn't ever meet. Sideshow Bob. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Oh,
But it makes sense. He's a cultured man.
Yeah.
He's a cultured man. Yeah. Well, Francis has
Kelsey
won this,
Grammer.
but let's do the last one anyway.
All right.
You took 4 minutes of my life, and I want them back.
Grandpa.
Oh, I'd only waste them anyway.
Yeah, we tied with that one. That's
Jasper.
Abe, isn't it? Oh, it's
Jasper.
Jasper?
What?
Oh, no, it's Mole Man. Yes.
Hans Mole Man.
I knew
I got it out just a second before you, Francis.
Yep.
Okay,
4-3.
That's pretty close.
It was a close one.
Oh, that's too big.
That's the game. Well, that was a fun game, fellas.
Yeah, it was. It was good, boys.
Yeah,
I had fun just playing. And the way I see it, we're both competing against Davan.
Yeah,
it's true.
He's like the house at the casino.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I win, but the house always wins. So you guys just fed me your points. I will cash them at a time of my choosing. And then I just wasted it. All right. Well, now it's time for our ratings on the established scale.
Yeah, I bumped it up over the course of this episode. Yeah. I would give this a 6, like last episode. I think this tied for last episode. I think it actually warmed up as we were talking about it. I was reminded of
that tends to happen. That happens with this show, and it happens with X-Men show when we talk about it on the X-Men podcast too. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 5, which is I think that's my highest rank so far.
Yeah, it is your highest. So that for you, your scale.
I'm a super hard scorer.
That's fine though. I like it.
But this is probably the most consistently sort of funny, and it's like a lot of just like quotable moments that have stuck with me over the years.
Man built this.
Yeah.
This is a vehicle.
This is the funniest one so far. I gave the last one a 6, not for the humor, because it had so much heart.
It was very
the
touching.
humor of this one matched the heart of the last one. Now, I want to give it a 5 or a 6, and I'm just trying to figure out. It ends really good too. All right, I'm gonna give this one a 5.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
It's all about Bob for me, and he was gone too soon.
What we should do is aggregate these two, is go back and check the scores, and then we can add our 3s together, and then we can start ranking them all and see, if we all give an episode a 10, for example, then it's a perfect episode. You know what I mean?
In here, Sam, we should have a spreadsheet, right? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'll get it eventually.
We'll get on it.
Cousin Dave makes all the spreadsheets.
This is season 1, okay? We're animated poorly. I was a black man in the first episode.
Yeah, the humor is still evolving.
I thought you were just Roman.
We're not. It's funny, but we're not quite in that like pocket of humor that they get into, where it's just like every episode was a banger almost, right?
Yeah. Oh, once we get into season 3, these
it's over.
It's gonna be hard to keep it to an hour because we're gonna have so much.
We're gonna be laughing so hard too. We're just laughing. But oh man, it's gonna get crazy. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can contact us at KBBBL podcast at gmail.com. If you didn't notice, that's me in the opener. Yeah. Audio only version available wherever you get your podcasts. And we are a proud member of the United Federation of Podcasts. And now I'm going to do the quick roll call.
Plug.
Shows. Yeah. There's us. There's Hold Up that I do with Murphy. We talk about movies. The next one's going to be on politics. And then, Francis, you're on the next one after that. It's the war episode.
Oh, yeah. Am I? Did I agree to that when we were drinking? But yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, that's 2.5 weeks from now. You got time to watch 3 movies. Remember the Bridge movies? Yeah. Bridge on the River Kwai, A Bridge Too Far. I don't know what Murphy picked.
What was the modern one with the bridge?
I don't know. Oh,
there's this one they put up.
14 or whatever it was, right?
1917. I love that movie. There's also,
Yeah,
if you want to watch
yeah,
a
it was-
modern one that also has a bridge, there's this one they put on Netflix called The Forgotten Battle, and it's actually about Canadians, like in the north of Europe, but they're trying to cross this bridge as well. So it doesn't have it in the title, but if you want to keep with the theme, mention that to Murphy.
I will mention that to Murphy. Also, check out Super Mater Brothers, where they do their reality show reviews. I think they might be on hiatus at the moment, but we also did a sweet MCU year-end review there. Speaking of Marvel, check out X-Rated, the X-Men Animated Review Show, where we review X-Men, the animated series from the 90s. We interview people. We have lots of fun and shenanigans. It's a great show. Go check it out. It's also my co-host there has the Graphic Histories podcast. He interviews people from film, comics. He just interviewed Frank Forstall, a very good artist. Check that out. Also, check out the Hellbound podcast with that Alex Blackburn and Michael Chan. And we also have many, many Star Trek shows. We have the Command Division where they review episodes. I should say I do it too. We're all there. Live Long, Locutors of Trek at the Live Long and podcast. That's me and Dave Puxley doing crazy things. It's basically the adventures of plain simple tailors, minus Francis, who's also a plain simple tailor on the side. He's like our side piece.
I'm a part-timer.
Yeah. And also check out the Ops Division, where we do Star Trek Radio Theater in a writer's room. And the Science Division, where we launch probes, we debate, we do trivia, we do all kinds of fun things. We're launching a Class L probe tomorrow night. Check that out, where we will ask the questions. Would Dr. Pulaski have been better than Dr. Crusher if she had stayed past season 2? Should the Federation have been able to win the peace against the Dominion? And something else. Oh, should the Federation have, or is the Federation ban on augments ridiculous, essentially? Should they reconsider their blanket ban on augments? So that's what we'll be talking about tomorrow night. And that's it, fellas.
Thanks as always, everybody. Stay safe, be happy, enjoy 2023. See you next week.
Run, you fool!
KBBBL podcast. Where the extra B is for BYOBB.
Where's my